Good morning, Rabbi Isai. All we need is a little false start. I was so into it. Shalom Aleichem, remind me your name?
Shmuel Bear Robbins.
Shalom Aleichem from? Motzei, New York. Shalom Aleichem. Good news, big news. Right now, live from Phoenix, Arizona. It's a brand new group getting together every day, bringing Gemara from home. Coffee and snacks. Satellite location. This is our 24th location in Chutz La'aretz. And I think what a scam. What a scam. There's a lot more, but he doesn't want to turn the camera. Givaldik. You should know, I have to ask Benny, but I think that we used to have 25 groups at Eretz Yisrael, and I sent Benny, he was in Bnei Brak yesterday, he says, I'm going to the group in Bnei Brak. I said, no, go to the other one in Bnei Brak. There's two. Don't go to the famous one, go to the other one. He goes there, it's closed. So we're down. Chutz La'aretz is matching Eretz Yisrael, 24 up. Rabbi Isai, 24 up, yeah? What a coincidence. Refuah Shleima for Akiva Yehuda Ben Esther Naomi. Refuah Shleima right away. Watch the Shiur together on Zoom with the pre-Shiur Melava Malka. This month is Shabbos. Monastrich. Oh, Rabbi Isai. Okay, I'll talk about him in a second. We have a very chashuv guest here. Itcha Safran. That's how you pronounce it. Itcha Safran, 12 years old, keeping up with the daf on the way back from Eretz Yisrael to Tom's River. We want to thank his father again for, was it anonymous? It's not anymore. For the last su'udah in our sukkah, he stepped in. Sishkoyach. This is an amazing email. I got to read this. I have to find it in English. I hope I didn't take out the English part. Here we go. Oh, this meant a lot to me. Chvod Rebelli, I forgot to take out his email's still in there. Sorry. I just wanted to take a moment to express my deep akar satov to you. So when I did the Meaningful Minute podcast, that is years ago. It's like 4 years ago or so. And I said over there that people have a chiyuv for hishtadlus and parnasa, but who says that the hishtadlus is 16 hours a day? Maybe it's less. Maybe hishtadlus is 8 hours a day. So you could take it down a little bit. You have to work for parnasa. Yeah, I'm not saying not to work, but the amount of hours that people put in, no one ever does hishtadlus for anything else as much as for parnasa usually. No, you don't work 18 hours a day on chinuch. I've never met anybody goes every single day to classes and thinking about it. That's not chinuch. I'm talking about getting into your car, taking a subway at 6 o'clock in the morning in New York, and going and coming home exhausted. You don't do that for chinuch. Okay, you want to argue that's I think most people agree that you don't put in for dieting, for all this stuff. So this individual who owned a company in London, his name is Aaron Mordechai, heard this podcast and took it to heart. And now he says like this: I just wanted to take a moment to express my deep akar satov to you. After being inspired by you almost 4 years ago, I reached a milestone that I truly feel is in your schus. I recorded my 1,000th shiur. On Erev Sukkot, just a few minutes before the Zman, had a special privilege to record shiur number 1,000. That night, I was able to make a heartfelt shechiyonu my sukkah, thanking Hashem, not only for the special yonta, but also for allowing me to reach this amazing milestone and for choosing me to be a vessel of our Botzas Torah on a global scale. What began as a crazy idea is now, with tons of Siyat Shema, transformed my life and the life of my family, and it's all in your schus. So he took off an hour, and then it went to 2 hours, to 3 hours, and he started saying a shiur in Yiddish, and now he's on an Araisa. He's the number one Yiddish person, I think, in Araisa. Has thousands of Talmidim. And shiur with 1,000 shiur. So he says like this, Mizakane de Zakai Rebelli, your passion and sincerity lit the spark in me, and it continues to do so for so many Yidden around the globe every single day. Now that I somewhat understand what it means to prepare a daily shiur, come rain or shine, I can only offer you a heartfelt birkas kohen. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu continue to grant you koyach and a chavas hadas to keep inspiring the lives of so many Yidden around the world with your warmth, humor, and genuine havas haTorah. And to continue to bring more Yidden closer to him with deep appreciation and admiration. Our Mordechai HaKoyen, Lubelski, London, Stamford Hill. It's unbelievable. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give you also the koyens to continue finishing Shas over and over and be married with Talmidim. Be'ezer Hashem. But listen, Reb Aaron, when I start doing my shiur in Yiddish, I need you to step down. He also does charts and drawings and all this stuff.
He's a real Tom.
He's not. Shalom, what's your name? From West Hempstead. And that's your son, something Halford. Benny. You're on top of it. What's his name?
His name is Robin.
What's his first name?
He's in New York, he has no first name.
You used it up again during emails. You just used it up during emails.
He lives in Motzei by Rabodensky.
That's
where he is, in Motzei.
Yeah.
He's from Denver.
It's not an extended one. It's one, no, it's one and done. Denver.
He's a Broncos fan.
Do you ski? Avada. Bemis? We used to ski. Snowboard today. Yeah. By the way, I went one time, I said, okay, my kids are skiing. I said, I put the skis on. I had no idea what I was doing anymore. 16 years I used to ski, and then now it's only boarding. Thank you for everything. Thanks to your encouragement, Eitan G's inspiration, Avi Slayton's group. This year I finished Nine Mikra Bechel Targum, first time in many years. This is from Yom Biron from Kiryat Sefer. And here's his little chart, how he did it. Hope to complete Nine Mikra again this year. And for many years, we'll try to learn more Rashis. Got Chasim Bereshis to thank Hashem for this occasion and blessed you, Eitan Navi, and Mishaberach on Shabbos and Kiddush. What's your father's name? You changed my life. A gesunde Winter, Yom Biron. Gewaldig. Fine. The boys say it's a good time to, one last reminder, Shnai Mikra this week. Voracious, it's geschmack. It only takes 8 minutes a day. Try it out. It'll pasha change your life. You'll become much wealthier. That's what it says, no? It says Gula Parnasa. Arichas Yamim. You'll only know about it later on in life. Just try it out now. Masechta sponsored. David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri. Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Dov Zechron Levracha. Masechta sponsored anonymous. Lili Nishmas Doidi Shlomi Yehuda Zechron Levracha Shmuel Chaim Zechron Levracha. Shokav Veloma Kachim Kol Chayav. Anonymous. L'schus for Shlomo Nachman Tzvi Ben Yenta. Sponsored by Scriber Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshi Shlafrak for the devotion to her study and the Shiur, Joe Gedalius, Lil Nishmas, my father, Jackie Gedalius, Anonymous, Hatzlach Baruchnis V'Gashmias, MDY Coffee Corner, Rivka and Dr. Avram Epstein for the month. Pray for a complete and speedy recovery for Dr. Harold Goldmeyer. Monthly sponsors, Anonymous from London, Parnasa B'Shefa, Anonymous, Baruch Adlidai, Yehuda Ben Yomin Ben Chava, and Baruch Tzvi Nisim Ben Shoshana Leah. Anonymous, Lashon Toiva Metuka, L'schus Eliyahu Ben Chayu Dvarin, in honor of my Chavrusa Simchale Ben Tzin Glicksman, Mazel Tov to Talia on her birthday, urgent refuah Shlema for Chaim Yosef Aryeh Ben Sarah Rezel. Weekly sponsors, HYK Ventures, or for Shlema for Elka Bas Chana. Anonymous, in the merit of Bracha Bat Chana for good health. Anonymous, for a winter filled with growth. Daily sponsors, Adina Josh Pruzansky, Lina Shmas, Nami Bas Shraga Feibel Hurtis on her first yard site. Huh?
Very nice.
Okay. Anonymous, for the Toldos Yaakov Yosef, Sukkot Shmini Atzeres, and Reb Levi Yitzchak Raditchev, the Gilden and Hauchhauser families, Leadership Rabbeinu Rav Moshe Hauer, Zechron Levracha, Niftach Chag Shmini Atzeres, Tajim Peiv. Oh, very sad, very, very sad. He was your Rav?
Yeah, he was my Rav in Baltimore.
Oh, you and you did it together with him?
Yes.
He was your Rav in Baltimore. How? He was very young, in his 50s? Oh, he's in his 60s. Wow. MDY Manchester, Mazel Tov to Mord and Michal Mammon on the occasion of Yishai's Bar Mitzvah. MDY Manchester. Anonymous in memory of Rabbi Moshe Hauer. Another one. MDY Art, monthly. Rabbi Motzei, we have with us a very, very chashuv guest. It means a lot to me that he's here. Refuah Shleima for Yehonatan Eitan ben Basheba Brocha. Eitan, thanks for coming. It's a big chizuk that you're here. Wow. Refuah Shleima. I don't know how you do it, but he's here. It's unbelievable. The Refuah Shleima Mordechai ben Esther. The Refuah Hayeled Daniel Zeb ben Hayeled Esther. Rabbi Motzei. We're holding like 6 lines from the bottom of Daf Amud Beis. Amud Beis. Again, I want to welcome all the guys in Phoenix, Arizona. They're starting to come in over there, starting to pour in. Be'ezer Hashem. It's great for them because it's only like 9 o'clock at night or something. It's like, it's the perfect time. It's like when we do the Shiur. Oh, Phoenix, Arizona. So we are holding in middle, even if some of you guys, even in Phoenix, and there might be some guys here in the room that are brand new, never done a daf in their life, never done Zevachim. You've never done a daf in...
I never made a siyum ever, and I did 100 blocks straight.
Wow. So you did a siyum now. 2 siyumim, never did a siyum in his life, and here he is 100 days later. It's beautiful. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Eli Freund. From where? So you're a Yoili. Gewaldig. I also have a Yoili, but it's not a Yoili. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't say it like you. I heard the little lamed over there. It's Gewaldig. Yoili. Geschmack. Okay. Welcome. So, we were learning yesterday, there's a concept called Tuma Hutra B'tzibur. And that is that if most of Klal Yisrael, the majority of Klal Yisrael, let's say 51% of Klal Yisrael went to a funeral, and they were all within the Aron, they touched the mace, whatever it is, and now it's Pesach time, and you have to bring a carbon Pesach. There's a special halacha that says that if most of Klal Yisrael are tamei, they could bring the carbon. If most of the kohanim are tamei, they can perform the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. It's Tuma Hutra B'tzibur. So one of the things we're going to be discussing is it Hutra or D'chuya? I'm not going to be discussing it a lot, just for a few moments. Is it completely gone, or it's just pushed to the side? It makes a little bit of a difference. So, yesterday we were learning an interesting halacha. Let's say that most of Klal Yisrael first went to a funeral, so they all became tumas meis. It's a very severe tuma of touching a body. And then afterwards, they all became zavim. They had an emission, some sort of disease. It's also severe tumah, but not as severe as tumas meis. Now, what we said was, there's a concept called hoyel. We didn't really focus on the word hoyel, but hoyel is another concept in Shas. Hoyel, since we're going to get rid of the tumah of the dead person, if that goes off, so it'll erase with it the other tumah of ziva. So that's where we're holding now. And the Gemara says, "Va'akati lo'idami." Still, I'm not happy with this. Mitzaira heterahu. The fact that a mitzaira could stick his fingers. Here we have this. Let's just show these guys in Phoenix. Maybe you got to catch them up a little bit. A mitzaira, somebody who sees some blotches on his skin, comes from talking Lashon Hara or whatever. So there's a whole process. When he becomes tar, he has to bring karbanas, and they take the blood of the asham and the oil, and they put it on his right thumb, his right large toe, and his right ear. The problem is that he's not tar yet. Until he brings the 2 karbanas that he has on the side over there, the chattis and the asham, he's not tar. He's semi-tar. So he's not allowed to go into the azara of the Beis Hamikdash. He stands on the outside. Just he sticks his finger in. So that we allow him to do. There's a heter for that. Mitzaira heterahu. So the Torah says that you're allowed to do this. We allow you to put your fingers in. Hoyel v'ishtari. So therefore, it makes sense that once I take off this tumah, I take off all tumah. So let's say, because we're talking about another case. We're talking about a case where This Motzei guy comes on his 8th day, the final day that he has to do this whole thing, and he's all excited. He's about to bring a carbon Pesach, it's Erev Pesach, and then he becomes a Balkari. Do we say Hoyel? Do we say, since we're going to remove the Tumah of Tzaras, so we're also going to remove the Tumah, since he's allowed to go into the Beis HaMikdash for his, even though he's a Motzei, could he also go into the Beis HaMikdash, even though he's a Balkari? So on the one hand, you could view it in two different ways. On the one hand, you say, listen, Hoyel ve'ishtri ishtri. Once I give him a dispensation, I allow him to put his fingers in from his tzaras. The Torah tells me to do that. So therefore, everything is removed also. The carry is also removed. But Tumah d'chuyahi. But when it comes to the Tumah of the mace, it's only pushed off. Laha yidchi, laha la yidchi. The Torah didn't say that today, when you went to Levaya, you could do the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash, and it's gone. The tumah is gone. It's not gone. I push it to the side. I ignore it for now. I rather you don't come. I rather the other kind do it. It's not a heter. It's pushed off. It's like sometimes we have the same shayla in Masechet Shabbos. When you drive to the hospital on Shabbos, woman's giving birth. Is Shabbos gone, or it's we look the other way, and it's nafkamina for different things. Sometimes it's hutter, it's mamish, it's gone, it's zero, or no, it's pushed to the side. You're allowed to. We allow you to drive to the hospital. It's not gone. It's still Shabbos for different things. I don't know how this fits in with. I have to think for like the line for MDY. But there's a story where a guy comes into the shul, he sees a bunch of cake and liquor on the table. So he says, "Could I have some of this?" So there's a chassid there, and the chassid says, "This is the tziburs, this is the communities. Of course you could. What's the problem?" Then a Litvak walks by, says, "This is the communities, this is the tziburs. What are you doing? You can't touch it." It's a big enough community how you look at it. Here in MDY, it's the death penalty. Omar le Rava. So Rava says, no, Adar Rava, maybe you can look at it in the reverse. It makes the opposite sense. Mitzayra heteru. The Torah gave you a special heter when you're mitzayra to stick your finger in, but it's only laha yishtari, laha yishtari. The Torah only allows you for the tzaras. The Torah never said, oh, about carry could go in. Only tzaras. Tumah d'chuyi. But when it comes to the mace, the Torah pushed it off. Mali chad d'chuya, mali shtei d'chuyas. What's the difference if I push off one thing or I push off two? Once the Torah pushes it off because the whole community is tamei, so we push off everything. So that's the end of that. Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph. I call upon him. Says the Gemara, Mechlal d'Tavai Svirlu Tumah d'chuyi b'tzibur. You see that everybody agrees that Tumah is pushed off. Baya Rava, push it to the side. So let me say it. Okay, no, so that's it. Fine. We have everybody agrees that Tumah d'chuyi b'tzibur, you push it off. It's not a heter, it's pushed off. I think they say, don't quote me on this. I'm just throwing it out there as a maybe because I didn't see it now. I remember it from a different time, and my memory is not that good. That if there's like a what do they call them? The 24 mishmaris. There's a mishmar of kohanim, and some of them are tar, some of them are tamei. Most of them are tamei. So if you say hutar, so then the ones that are tamei could perform the avodah no problem. If you say d'chuya, it doesn't really make sense what I'm saying now, so maybe don't even listen. If you say t'chuya, then maybe it's better that the ones that are tar should perform that way. Something like that. There are nafkaminas whether you say tar, t'chuya, or huta. Says the Gemara, let me say elei. Perhaps we can bring a raya to Ula. And this is another concept. You see how many concepts we learned in 5 minutes? There's another one. Bia b'miktsas shema bia. We had a machlokes yesterday. If somebody puts his finger into, remember we discussed yesterday the kaisel, putting your finger into the kaisel as I got all sorts of emails. No, most people don't hold like that. And what are you showing me? Underlined. Oh, Yuma. Tumas meis hud receive bein tzorch lechazach tahirim. Oh, v'lochin nitma kohen beisav. Oh, in the Mishmar shoyvet beisayim. Av sheish kohen tahirim beisav acher makir beisav tuma. Or you tchum betzibur. Tzorch lechazach tahirim. You have to look for kohen that are dar. Beautiful. Thank you. Schottenstein. Does the art school bring it? the Hebrew art school. I don't think. Okay. Fine. Shkoyach. So says the Gemara. Nah, I saw it. I just put that. Dachtach and Yuma. What daf? Beis. I'm off by one. Okay. I remember about Peh, but yeah. Love those guys. Not sure. Was it Kama daf Tzadik Aleph? Yeah. The Olam says yeah. Okay. I forgot for a second. Yeah. Okay. Let me say it. Fine. So we have a question whether or not you put part of your body into the Beis Hamikdash as if you completely went inside or not. Let me say I have a right to hula that you put your finger in. It's as if you went in with your whole body. It says kol smicha shahayu sham. So we know there's a concept called smicha, and that is leaning on the animal. Here, just to show you, this is smicha, this is the beginning. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. There's a mitzvah to put your hands and body weight on the animal's head. So it says, Chol ha-smicha shayu sham, chayre aleim ani, teikef l'smicha shchita. There's a concept in Shas called teikef. In Hebrew, it means right away. Teikef. Teikef ani ba. Teikef. In what?
In Hebrew, it's the opposite. Teikef means I'm not coming.
Yeah. In not in Hebrew. In modern day Israel, if somebody says I'm coming teikef, it's 22 minutes. So there's what's teikef? 22 amas. As much as you can walk, as long as it takes you to walk 22 amas, which is 44 feet approximately. Whatever the time it takes to walk 44 feet, that's how fast you have to do this thing. Teikef l'smicha shchita. You must perform the shchita immediately close to the smicha. In fact, Rashi brings the pasuk that we had yesterday. It says in pasuk Dalet, and then in pasuk Hey, it says v'samach, you lean, v'shachat, and you shech. There's a smichos, there's a hekesh, memela. Have a seat, please. Shkoyach. V'samach v'shachat. Okay, so there's a mitzvah, besides the one that was done by that opening, by the gate with the 15 steps, Shar Nikoner. Over there, the Motzei cannot go in until we sprinkle the blood of the asham. We put the blood of the asham on his fingers, the blood of the chatas you put on the mizbeach. So yesterday, what happened was, I'll just give you a quick, it's not so important, but because we did all these amazing sudas on Sukkos, and a couple things slipped through we didn't really get cleaning help. We got guys to put the stuff out. We weren't thinking, like yeshiva bachrim, putting together things. So anyway, the Yoshi and the other artists were not in the offices over Sukkot, so the guys took over their offices. They come in and there's milk everywhere, spoiled this. It's like a disaster. So it actually took the guys, I saw them working till about 2 a.m. It took them almost a whole day to scrub it down, and it was a disaster. So I'm just saying this because it seems almost like if this younger guy, this artist, was in the office together with Yoshi, this wouldn't be the final product. Enjoy it while it lasts. Some of you who are not going to be happy with this one, you could write into nivgati.com. This is a brisker guy looking at a sign that says in Hebrew that there's going to be a competition for smicha l'shchita, for going really quick between the smicha and the shchita. And here's the comment. A lot of it is in Hebrew, I guess. Here we go. When they look at signs, they usually remove their glasses to see up close.
שלום לכם צופים יקרים, היום הגדול הגיע אחרי חודשים של אימונים מפרכים. כל המתמודדים ניצבים על קו הפתיחה, נחושים לנצח ולזכות להניף את גביע. התחרות מתחילה ממש עכשיו.
The competition is starting.
השופט מרים את המסורתית ושריקה. כולם ידיים על הפס, שימו לב איך הם סוגרים.
At least no one is enjoying it.
זה הערות השחיטה. סקינים יוצאות כהרף עין.
The shot is Mendy.
גבירותיי ורבותיי, זה הרגע שחיכינו לו. יש לנו זוכה מספר 9. וואו, איזו מילה.
Number 9.
הצלחת לעצור את הנשימה של כולנו. בוא מיד לבמה לקחת ולהניף את הגביע.
All right, fine. All Horus, Vivgati.com. There are other halachas, by the way, of Takif. Takif, Levi just left. Mecha. I got it. The what? There's a baseball? Which one?
On the base. It's in the video.
Oh, really? Okay. My son works for him in baseball. He's a baseball. Well, there's a reference to baseball there?
Yeah.
On a baseball field. Oh, okay. I thought there was like actual. Okay, fine. Givaldi. Other halachas of Takif. The Gemara talks about washing your hands. My machroinim right before Birkas Hamazon, washing your hands before between Motzei, Takif. It has to be right away. That's why people are makbid to wash last, or another. This is a shiloh that not everybody knows, but if you grew up with the way I grew up, I know this is halacha. It's not even a question. Let's say your sink is more than 44 feet away from your table. You don't have the patience to bring in a whole, the Negelwasser thing. So you want to wash your hands. What do you do? No, what do you do? Let's see. No, let's see. What's the halacha? No, what do you do, Doc?
I watch before kiddush.
Yeah, but I'm saying from the washing station to your table is more than 44 feet. What do you do? It's not takif. Oh. And when do you say the bracha? At the table, right. So the eitzah is you wash your hands. If you have no other choice, you wash your hands, you keep them wet, and you go to where you're going to eat. And then you say the bracha, because you're supposed to say the bracha before you dry off your hands. And then you dry off your hands. That's one way.
Why? The white's lovely.
Huh?
Water.
Yeah, those drips, of course. But if you go like this, if you raise your hands, it doesn't drip. Yeah. And onto the floor, but you think that it does. The Belzer told me a story about Takif. He said that there was a chassid that his wife told him to go buy like a dish. It was like, on Chalamayid. So he goes out to the store to buy a dish, and he sees a bunch of his friends outside, like with suitcases. He's like, "What's going on, guys?" He says, "Oh, we're going to the Rebbe for Yantif." So the Rebbe for Yantif, can I join? He said, "Yeah." So he joins them. And after Yantif, he realized, wait a minute, he had to buy his wife a dish. So he runs to the store and he's all nervous. Like, what's she going to say? It's already 4 days later. So he runs and he comes back and he starts running with the dish and he trips and he breaks his leg. And he said, this is what happens when you're in a big rush. That's the mice of Takif. It wasn't a true story. It's the helper. And you're like, mice come out to you. So Zogting about Karalev and he Takif the smicha shchita. Chutz mizu shoyse b'shar nikoner. This Mitzayra who lines himself up at the entrance of Shar Nikoner, here, if you want to see Shar Nikoner, this is Shar Nikoner, right? Right over here. We're going to show you a better one. This doorway right over here. These are the steps, these round 15 steps. You go in here, into the Azar. This area right over here is where you do the karbanas. So he's standing right over here. So it says the Gemara, I'm going to show you a better chart in a second. I'll prove Ula is right, that if you come in a little bit, it's as if you came in completely. Because if it's not so, what is the problem? Why do you say that everybody has the right to do smicha, and then you can do smicha and then shchita right away? This Motzei also. Look at him. So let's do this chart. Check this out. it's a top view of what I just showed you. Here you see the Mizbeach is in the center, the Heichal is on the right, and Sha'ar Nikanor is right over here. You see, this is Sha'ar Nikanor. He's not permitted to go into this area. This entire area, that's the Azar, he can't go in there. What's the problem? Why don't we put the animal right here by the laser, and he'll stand over here by the doorway, and he'll just put his hands in. A little bit of his hands is nothing. The answer is because if his hands go in, it's as if his whole body went in, and that's asur. It's a raya like ula. Here we go. Check this out. Oh, so this is something that we discussed a number of times in this Masechta. What area are we doing the carbon in? The shechita. So this is the mizbeach. Right up here is the mizbeach. This direction going here is north. So it says it has to be north. So is it the entire northern area right over here, or is just, let's say, the green, which is exactly the width of the mizbeach? Maybe when we say it has to be north of the mizbeach, it means from this point right over here to this point over here, going north. So we're going to understand now, it means the entire northern part of the Ezra Nashim, including the purple, certainly the blue. The blue is even closer to the Heichal. So if he could stand right over here, if we could bring the animal to this purple area, so take a look. Here he is. You see the animal? That little animal is up there in the top left corner of the purple, and the guy is standing outside of the Azara. And all he does is he leans in with his hands, he puts his hands onto the animal's head, and he does smicha. Why can't the Motzei, you're right, he can't come in, he won't come in, but his hand could come in, it's not a problem. The answer is, his hand cannot come in. Says, no, not a raya. Omar Rav Yosef Amani, Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda. No! Think about it. The reason why he can't do it is because he doesn't have 20 foot long arms, or actually 44 foot long arms. The width of the purple is 22 amas. It's 44 feet. He has to stand where he's standing right now, and let's move the animal over here. The animal's over there, not him. Okay, it's not good that he's there. But the animal must be in the green box. He's not allowed to be in the purple box. It's north of the Mizbeach, Rabbi Yossi says. Exactly the width of the Mizbeach, that's it. So how is the guy standing right over here by the doorway going to extend his arms all the way here to the animal? That's 44 feet away. He can't do it. Says, oh, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehudi, the Omar Mirachak Tzafon. The Tzafon is far from that door of the Sha'ar Nikanor. Ask the Gemara of Elevet Pishpish. Here. I'll show you right over here, 1 second. Here's the pishpish. I'm going to show you the pishpish, but the question is everything okay back down there? Because whoever, okay, a little bit noisy today. Why can't the guy stand over there on the bottom of the chart, by the green on the bottom, and let him create a hole? Here, let me show you how the hole will look. This is this guy that does here. This is our technology, right over here. This is Sha'ar Nikanor. Pishpish is what you're going to see on the left, not this door. That door is no good. It doesn't work for us. Let him create a new hole on the left, right over here. And stick his hands through the regular door he can, because there's too much kedusha there. He'll create a new hole. Bring the animal, it'll still be north. If we look at this part, so now you understand. It's still in the green box. We'll bring the animal all the way to that hole, and he'll stand outside of the hole, stick his hands in. Zog the Gemara, no, you can't do that. It says in the pasuk, Kol b'chsav miyad Hashem olai hiskil kol melachois hatavnes. The Beis Hamikdash is exact. You can't just add another hole, put another skylight in there, do whatever you want. Everything has a plan, and it's exactly as is. It's interesting, when we built this Beis Medrash, there's different halachas that when you build a Beis Medrash, one of them is you need 12 windows. It's not like a chiyuv deraisa, but it's good to have 12 windows. Another one is a skylight, which we don't have. There's halachas about bima, the bima. And there's a Rav here in Bet Shemesh who holds that if you put walls around the bima, and he has initial walls around, so I don't understand, maybe it's a certain height, it could create another room. It's like a mechitza. So then the bakar is in another room. You're not in the same room with the bakar, and he said it's a problem. Different. You have to. Before somebody builds a shul, you should ask the rav of the shul at least. Ikad Amri, Amar Rabbi Yosef, Kol Hasoymech, Roishe v'Rubim Machnes. Oh, you know what the problem is? The problem is that if you do smicha, you lean onto the animal, you're supposed to do it with all your might. And this is what's going to happen. It's not just putting your fingertips on the guy's head. You have to put your, it might be a struggle. And then most of your body ends up behind that laser line. You have to put all your force. You can't just put your fingers and go like this, all fours. Fine. Says the Gemara, Micah Sover, but what does he hold? There's two parts here. There's the smicha, leaning on the animal. Is that deraisa? Or maybe not? Is it a chiyuv? What if you don't do it? Which I believe, if you don't do it, it's not makiv. It's not the end of the world. But is it deraisa? And then the other part is this idea that the smicha has to be right next to the shechita, has to be fast. And if the animal's outside of the azara, that's already a hefsek. It's like you washing your hands outdoors and coming back inside. It doesn't work. Or, you have to come up with a trick. But the idea of shechita smicha is a deraisa, so that could create a problem, or maybe not. So let's see. These are the two parts. Says the Gemara, Micah Sover, what does he hold? Step number one, part one, that you have to do smicha, that's a deraisa. But take the smicha shechita deraisa. And part two, that you have to do the smicha immediately before the shechita, or the shechita immediately after the smicha. Don't waste any time. Don't bring the animal from another place. And that's also deraisa. If so, le'oil v'lismich lehedya. Then what's the problem? Let him go into the azara and do smicha. Or let him do it over there at least, but the Rahman Amar, the Torah told you to do it. So why are you fighting the Torah? The Torah said, do smicha. Right? If the Torah tells you to do something, so you can't say, oh, but it's also do smicha. The Torah said to do smicha. Oh, but he's tameh. But the Torah knows that the Motzei is tameh. And the Torah said that the Motzei should do smicha. This is super interesting. We just had it. We don't shake a lulav on Shabbos. But the Torah says we should. Chacham said it's gzeira. So Chacham said, yes, you're right. La halacha, you're supposed to, the Motzei should do smicha. And he could go into the azar and do smicha. But the concern is that this guy's going to space out, and after he does smicha, he's going to take one more step in the opposite direction. Instead of leaving, he's going to go the other way, and that's karas. So yeah, so they talk about it. What about Oiker Lulav? That's why he's stuck in Lulav. Sheval Taisa. It is a discussion, 100%. Ikad Amri. Step one, or part one, that to do smicha for a Motzei is a deraisa. But he could do it outside. Why? But taking the smicha shechita lav deraisa, that you have to do it quickly, like that race guy. That's not a deraisa. So if it's not a deraisa, he could do it outside. There's no problem to do smicha outside of the azara, and then slowly bring the animal back inside. If it takes 3 minutes, and if it's a little bit of a hefsek, it's not a problem. Why? Because you don't have to do it right away. That part of takev l'smicha shechita, that's not a deraisa. I just want to say to the Olam, because a lot of people were concerned for two things. That Ari Chaimowitz, first of all, that his son is sick. So he let me know. He says, first of all, I'm back on the daf 100%. He did 2 daf already. He's back, so don't be concerned about that. And his kid, Baruch Hashem, his mom is doing great. He's almost there, 90-something%. He just has to finish up the medication for a few more days. And he's out. He's already home since Rosh Hashanah, so Akol Beseder. But he was in the hospital for 21 days. That part was scary. Now he's out of the woods, so to speak. Says Gemara Meisvei, what? Meisvei. V'samach v'shachat. Right? So we saw that hekesh before. Whoa, how did it get so late? V'samach v'shachat. started late. It's such a short daf. V'samach v'shach, we gotta hustle here. V'samach v'shachat masmicha b'tahirim, avshchita b'tahirim. So we had this yesterday. Since it says samach next the shachat pasuk dal pasuk hey, so we learn one halacha from the other. Just like when you do smicha, you have to be tar, you can't be tamei. Avshchita b'tahirim. That was our mishnah that a tamei could perform shchita. The Gemara asked from over here. He's learning that no, when you do shchita, you have to be tar. If this idea of takif that you have to be right away, shchita and smicha is not deraisa, b'tmeim nami mishkachas lo. So what's the problem? Just you could do. Why can't you just do the deraisa of smicha and the part of that the shchita has to be right next to the smicha? That's only the rabbanon. So that you'll ignore. What's the problem? The Gemara says Eli Epoch. So you're right. Let's reverse it. Smicha Hashem Motzei lav deraisa. Do the smicha. That part is not deraisa. What is deraisa? But take it with smicha shchita deraisa. But to do the smicha and the shchita right next to each other, that is. And since we don't allow the Motzei to go in for that, he's not allowed to go in. Why? Because the smicha is not deraisa, so we don't allow him to go in for that. He's tummy. But the other part is important, that the shchita should come right after the smicha, so therefore, he doesn't perform the smicha. Take it with smicha shchita, deraisa. Sponsor. Hold on. Let's just, okay. Sponsor. Turning the Daf, Adar Global, Specialists in International Financial Services, Anonymous, is Chus Batzlach and Ruchnis Agashmis, Anonymous, in this Chus and support of Torah, that all tests should come back 100% healthy for me and my family. All right. So, going back, we did this, we spoke about it, we'll speak about it again. We had yesterday, Bia b'miksa shmo Bia. We spoke about if you sticking your fingers into the Beis HaMikdash is considered as if you stuck them in, if your whole body went in. Nogea too, a guy who's a Motzei, who has to perform the whole thing with the blood and the oil, he sticks his fingers in. What if we add another tumah to him called tumas keri? Does it go off or not? Since we're daicha the tumah, you're allowed to do it for Motzei, then we push it off for Bal Keri as well. But the Gemara says that if you don't bring a carbon pesach, that's karas. He says, well, wait a minute. If tumah hutra b'tzibur, don't worry about it. If he's not used to it, it's different hours.
I'm shaky.
The second time is different. It's always, what happened?
Then he asked what his phone
We're going to start calling you. So, the Shilas, the oil wants to know how come it wasn't, it's Gishmak, the different ringer, you know? Or your thing, what is it? What's those? No, I didn't notice. Okay. Shmak. He wanted to know if I noticed you. Akiva. So Akiva's always here. What else? It's a schus. He was the kid that was here for years. How many years were you here? 4 or 5? 3, 4. Kids are 4. I said 4, 5. You said 3, 4. 4. Finger on the spot, like this. What I want to tell him is chus that he's back. He's a chashav bacher and yeah. All right. So anyway, so it goes like this. The Gemara says, if you don't bring a carbon pesach, and you could, you have no excuse, you get karas. Oh, but when you go into the Beis HaMikdash, if you stick your finger in, that's also karas, because when you stick your finger in, it's like your whole body. Rabbeinu Amar, no, we're not talking about karas. This question doesn't start. Your whole question was, it's karas against karas. Why should we allow you to put your fingers in? So you can bring a carbon pesach, which is a karas. Putting your fingers in is a karas to begin with. The tummy person that goes in, no, a person that puts his fingers in, and we say mixes kukuloi, it's not karas. For that you'll get malchus. So it's less. So the issue of not bringing a carbon pesach is more severe because you get karas. Sticking your finger in is only malchus. Okay. Where Reb Shlokish said that you get malchus, that's for somebody who touches, nothing to do with coming into the Beis HaMikdash. Somebody who's tamei and touches a carbon, when he's tamei, he gets malchus. The itmar tamei shenoga b'kodesh, Rish Lakish Amar Loika. Rish Lakish says you get Malchus. Rabbi Yechon Amar Eina Loika. So Rish Lakish says you get Malchus for touching Kachim. What would he hold if you walk into the base? If you stick your fingers in to the base of Mikdash, you don't get anything. Zero. So Mamela, that's the Gemara's question yesterday. If you don't get anything, so why don't we say? And that's why he's allowed to. Perhaps he's allowed to bring a carbon Pesach, because if he doesn't bring a carbon, he'll get kares. So we allow him to put his fingers in with his tum and everything, because that you don't even get malchus for that. The Gemara thought you get kares for that. First, then now our Gemara says no, you get malchus. And then another sheet is you don't even get malchus, you get zero. So of course we should allow him to put his fingers in, so he can bring his carbon Pesach, so he doesn't get kares for not bringing carbon Pesach. You know what I'm saying. In other words, it's a very severe thing not to bring a carbon Pesach. We should allow it. Why? It says in the pasuk by a woman. Let's just do this real quickly because it's kedai to see this once in a while. A woman who gives birth to a male, a zachar, she becomes tamei midiraisa for 7 days. After that, she's completely tar, no matter what. She goes to the mikvah, tar for 33 days. It doesn't matter if she sees dam, doesn't see dam. 33 days of tahara. During those this is cool. We're going to learn something new today. Not everybody knows this. During these 33 days, what category is she in? Huh? Anybody? She's tar. Close. Great. She's at full yom. Isn't full yom till the night? She's at full yom aricha. For 33 days she's at full yom. Yeah? Interesting. She cannot eat truma. She certainly cannot eat kachim. Night of 33, right over here, night 40 we should call it, from the birth. That night, she flips from Tful Yom, she's no longer at Tful Yom. Oh, for all those new guys in Phoenix. Tful Yom means that somebody who's tamei goes to the mikvah, and it's not nightfall yet, so from the point that they go to the mikvah, they're semi-tahar, they're Tful Yom. So she is tar to her husband, but she cannot eat truma, and she cannot eat kachim. But night 40, usually it's that night, but in this case we have 33 days, Harav Shemesh, at nightfall. She's permitted with Truma, but she still cannot eat Kachim. Why? Because now she turns into a Mechusar Kippurim. She's missing that carbon that she has to bring the following morning, and she didn't bring that yet. Great. Let's say she gave birth to a girl. Everything's double. She's tummy for 14 days, but she has 66 freebie days, which she's a Tful Yom, Tfulas Yom, let's call her, to be more proper, a Tfulas Yom for 66 days. That night 80, huh?
41 and 81.
40 and 80. That night, she becomes a Tfulas Yom, and the following day, on 81, until that she's a Mechusar Kippur. Okay. So over there it says during those 33 days or the 66 days, she should not touch kodesh. Seems like kodesh means kachim. No, Rish Lakish, you make a mistake. That's referring to the truma that she can't touch, not the kachim. So she doesn't get malchus. Kachim is the next. It's when she's a Mechusar Kippurim, but we're not talking about a Mechusar Kippurim. Yes, you're right. It's within it. If you can't touch truma, certainly you can't touch kachim. But guess what? You can't punish her for it because it's like a kal v'chomer. You can't punish somebody from a kal v'chomer. But anyway, huh? No, she won't get the malchus. She won't get malchus. I would choose it. That if somebody who's tamei, his body's tamei, why are you telling me that this pasuk comes to say that if somebody who's tamei should not touch? Somebody who's tamei with his body shouldn't eat. We're not talking about touching. We're talking about eating. Yoshi did a whole thing. I don't know if you have patience for it. What's the pasuk talking about? Touching, like this guy, that you get malchus, or it's talking about this guy. He's eating. I'll just continue weiter. You guys could enjoy or not enjoy. How do you know? Anyway, whatever. Shine. We'll stop it over there. Didma Hazar loichel b'sar kodesh minayin. Rishlakish Amar b'kol kodesh l'siga. Rebbe Yochanan Amar Tani bardala. So he says the pasuk we said before b'kol kodesh l'siga that you can't. The Hazara means in order for you to get a punishment, the Torah also has to warn you. There has to be a separate pasuk. So this is Hazara loichel b'sar kodesh minayin. How do you know that when you eat the meat you get malchus? B'kol kodesh l'siga. I learned from the pasuk siga means to eat. Rebbe Yochanan Amar Tani bardala. By the way. This is a little bit of not a big riddle, but we're in today's Parashas Bereshis. I had the opportunity to do Shnai Mikra, so I noticed that in this parasha also we have this idea of Siga and Achila.
Yeah, but it's a das.
It's a das, and the Chava says to.
She adds on to
She says. You see that they're kind of interchangeable in the reverse in this case. She added, Hashem said, don't touch it. Which is not true. Hashem said, don't eat it. Over here it's the opposite. Over here the Torah says, Loisiga, and we're saying it's referring to Loisoichlu. But it's the same idea, I think. Did I skip?
yes.
Oh. Just like when a Talmud guy goes into the Beis Hamikdash, there's a Einish and there's a Hazar, there's a warning, Afkan, Onash v'Hizir, so too, if somebody eats Kachim, there's a Einish and a Hazar. Akopanim, what do you see? The Rish Lakish learns that this pasuk is talking about eating and not touching. Says Gemara, no, you can learn both things. Why in the world did the Torah say don't touch when the Torah meant don't eat? So from that I can learn that there's an isser to touch, even though we're talking about eating here. And there's a special, here we go, I think this is it. It says, and it says, there's a connection between Kodesh and Migdash. Tanikav say the Rish Lakish. We have a raya to Rish Lakish. B'chol Kodesh Siga Hazar Loichel. It's not talking about, not referring to touching. It's referring to eating. Doesn't it say touch? Don't touch. How did you jump from touching to eating? Bakish Kodesh Lamigdash. Oh, this is the pasuk. That there's a connection between the Kodesh and Migdash, the piece of meat and the Migdash. So somebody goes in Beis Hamikdash, gets kares. Hashem takes away his soul, so to speak. Av Kodesh. So too, when it comes to the carbon, one second, let's just finish this line over. If you're going to get Netilas Neshama Miika, if we're talking about just touching, you get the death penalty for touching. Ela b'achila must be. We're talking about eating. Rabbi, have a wonderful Shabbos, great day. Motzei Shabbos at 9:33.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shiur today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.